Okay, go.
We're not ready.
Go.
All right, everyone,
Go.
shut up.
Boop.
I think I'm more disappointed that I laughed than anything.
That's so good to see that we've really grown as a podcast. That's how we're going.
We have.
What was that?
You take that back. That hurts me.
Hello and welcome back to the Canon Factory, an elegant podcast for a more civilized age. I'm your host with the most, Sean, and I'm joined by...
This is Matt.
This is Richie.
Brennan.
I'm Mike.
And we're in a mood. And we've had another exciting week in Star Wars. Star Wars Rebels is back,
Ew.
coming back at us, episodes 1 and 2 of Season 4. And we finally have a title for the untitled Han Solo film, Untitled No More. In fact, it is just called Solo,
Great title.
a Star Wars story.
10 out of 10.
And for the amount of cares that I gave, it's also called Solo. Because
You
I
gave
mean,
at least one?
we all saw it coming. I gave one care, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about it right now. I think it'd be rude if I said I didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Wars Rebels. What'd you think, Ike?
Rebels, I enjoyed it. Yeah, so I wasn't at Celebration, so I didn't get to watch it. Because those guys are privileged, right?
Right, yeah.
Stupid Star Wars fans. No, just kidding. Yeah, so they got to watch it early a couple of months ago. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Maybe I haven't been following it as well as I should have, but the sister of Satine, that's dope. Am I right?
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. Did I
She's
not?
in Clone Wars.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't
Yeah,
realize
and
she
they
was
tell
going to be
you.
the same person in Rebels.
At the end.
You
Right.
didn't think that Bo-Katan would be the same person in Rebels as she was
I
in
think it
Clone
just
Wars?
didn't hit me until they said it, maybe.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That I didn't make all the connections until she said it. And then I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
shoot, this is Obi-Wan's
She should-
sister-in-law.
She should
What?
definitely be, what? No.
The aunt of his baby, Ray.
No, like, yeah, so I was like, oh, this is like, she's Mandalore. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because Mandalore is
That's
also
true.
a person and a planet.
She's Mandalorian.
So yeah, that which is pretty dope. And
But she
pretty
denies
cool.
it at first.
She
She's
does
like,
deny it.
She's like, I'm out. I tried. I failed. They don't
Yeah.
deserve it.
So
I tried so hard and got so far.
I thought that was really cool. I also have just been like absolutely loving the Satine arc. And by Satine, I mean Sabine.
Totally not unrelated.
Yeah, totally not unrelated, but also not related.
Right.
I don't know, maybe by blood somehow. But yeah, Sabine, her arc, with the dark saber arc from a few episodes from last season, I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And then seeing her with this like super internal struggle of building this super weapon,
Right.
I think is really neat.
Yeah.
So I think that like is good storytelling. I think it's really good storytelling. It seems like they're already jumping on the fast track of trying to tie up loose ends, because that seems like a loose end. Kind of like this thing that she made this
Right.
weapon, and they haven't really explained it at all. So it seems like they're already jumping on the board fast. They're trying to
Yeah, I'm
tie up
interested.
any loose ends.
I'm interested to see if that was them destroying it for good and it's done with, or if that's kind of like what one of Thrawn's goals is going to be over the course of
See,
the
but
season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's my issue with it. When
Hit
they
me-
when
hit
they
us with your
first
issues.
when they first talked about the weapon, they're like, oh, it can't be turned against the stormtroopers. And then Sabine was like, doo 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 doo, turning
No,
against the
no.
stormtroopers.
Sabine said she's like I've thought about that too, but that's not what the cause is. That's not what our goal is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then she's like, "Oh, you're gonna force electrocute me without the force?
So she kind of
Gonna get played."
goes dark a little bit. Not that she has the force.
she does.
So do you think that's going to come back for any reason? She kind of has this like
No,
dark
she made her
side to her,
choice.
or
She made her choice. Everyone's
think so?
human. Everyone's got dark side in them.
okay,
Yeah,
that's an interesting point.
yeah. That's what I think.
I'm just over here nodding, even though I don't know any of this.
Richie's like, I totally
I feel
agree.
like- I feel like
Never
there's
seen
a- I
Rebels.
feel like there's a party that I haven't started yet that I don't get to start
I'm really excited
till
for you guys to
it's
follow
November
it.
10th.
It's so good.
If you don't know, November 10th is when we start
In our
Rebels.
100 days of Star Wars quest.
Yeah, so that's
Which
coming up.
Brendan, how many days are we away from the Last Jedi?
68?
That can't
No,
be
I think
right.
58.
58. Yeah,
That
58.
sounds more right.
Yeah, 58.
58.
Sorry,
Man.
I'm on my way to Mexico right now, so
Ooh, Brennan's in Mexico mode.
I'm
Bye.
kind of spacing
Mentally,
out right
you're
now.
there. It's okay.
Right.
Fair
I'd say
excuse.
my only. I was gonna say it's an issue with the episode, but it's just kind of like a visual representation of what they did. They've made Ezra too strong, and they had to hold him back these 2 episodes by giving him a jetpack and be like, he doesn't know how to use it though. Where it's like the whole time, it's like, wow, Ezra could just finish this really quickly, but instead he's using a jetpack that he can't fly.
Yeah. Also, have you noticed? I noticed maybe this episode, and I don't think they've done this before. Somebody calls them Jedi or Jedi Master, and they don't stop them anymore.
Right. Yeah, they said.
It used to be they'd be
Sabine's
like, we're not
dad-
Jedi.
Right.
Like, don't call us that.
Well, I mean, Sabine's dad goes, "Are you Jedi?" And Ezra goes, "We'll see," type
Right.
of thing.
Yeah, they
that
like
was the
don't deny it
closest
anymore.
to. But somebody else called him Ezra. They're like Master Jedi.
Yeah, called him Master Jedi, and I don't
And
think he said anything.
Ezra didn't blink an eye.
No, he didn't.
He's like, damn right.
Right. So yeah, I mean, Matt and Richie here they haven't watched this episode, and Richie, you haven't watched any Rebels yet.
None.
So basically, something that, and I wanted to bring this up, and I want to get your 2 opinions on it. Where do you guys see, now that Rebels is starting, season 4 going? Because the big question on everybody's mind is, and we play a Star Wars RPG, right? We're running into the same problem, which is you're trying to tell this story that's a cool story. You want to make the characters seem impactful, but if they're too impactful, then you have to start asking the question of like, well, why weren't they in the OT? Like, why weren't they in the original trilogy?
Right.
So are they going to kill off these characters? Are they going to?
Yeah, our initial
That's
theory,
the question on everybody's mind.
Ike, you're in my initial theory is that they would die during the events of Rogue One.
Right.
So we see the ghost at the fight of in the Battle of Scarif.
Yeah.
So we know they make it at least to there.
We know that the ghost makes it. We
right.
know that Chopper makes it.
Correct.
We know that
Captain Syndulla.
Captain Syndulla makes it, who has
Right.
been confirmed to be
General. So she becomes general.
Yeah, that it's the daughter and not the father.
Correct. Confirmed.
So if you guys don't know a whole lot about Rebels, it takes place right before, for our listeners, I don't know how many of them listen or watch it, but it takes.
No, we don't know how many of them listen. That's a good point.
Right, that too. Well, all of them don't listen, so.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So it's just a story that kind of leads up into the original trilogy.
Right.
But we got these guys who are Jedis. I don't know. What do you think, Brennan?
Jedi.
I don't know.
Thanks,
I'm-
Brennan, with the hot take.
Yep. There we are, cutting back to the.
And now a short message from our sponsors.
Problem is it this is a kid show,
Yeah, you're right.
and so they should just have Darth Vader kill him, but they're not going to do that.
Well, here's the thing.
Well,
I mean, Rebels
They
and
might.
Clone Wars
They
don't
That's a good
shy
point,
away
Matt.
from
They
killing
might.
people
They
on
might.
screen.
so. Yeah,
But-
you're right.
Ooh. Actually, before I lose this thought real quick,
Sure, hit us with it.
the new Thrawn book that's coming out next summer is about a team-up story with Thrawn and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Good point.
How interesting would it be if we got to see the downfall of the Rebels crew from their point of view?
Oh, interesting use of words there.
Ooh, a certain point of view now in stores.
Not sponsored.
Could be though. Hit
Yeah.
us up.
So also,
That also begs the question: what happens to Ahsoka when she fights
right. So last week,
Vader?
the comic for Darth Vader
yes.
is him. It's basically him immediately picking up when he puts on the suit, and it's kind of him becoming acclimated with the suit
Right after 3.
right after 3. And he is currently he meets the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and then introduces him to the brothers
Mm-hmm.
and starts training them.
Wow, that's really
So
cool.
and they call them the Jedi Hunters. Their job is
Right.
hunting the Jedi, and Sidious or Palpatine admits that there's still some alive. So maybe that's a tie-in too. So maybe that's some reinforcing what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Maybe these Inquisitors are going to get tied up and end up killing these.
But we've seen them try and fail before, though.
They have
yeah,
tried and
I don't
failed.
think we'll get another arc of Inquisitors chasing them.
But that's what I'm getting at is Darth Vader.
Right, Vader being like, enough's enough.
Yeah, because he has been commissioned with your goal is killing the Jedi.
Like I could see
So
it would be a good callback to previous episodes on when they're on Geonosis and Rex says to Kane, I forget who he's talking to, but he says, "Oh, Kane is no Skywalker though,"
yeah,
and it'd be really interesting to see Vader kill Kanan.
Kanan.
He's no Skywalker. He doesn't have a
Yes.
chance.
Yeah. So anyway,
Easy. Too deep.
I think
Stop
a lot
now.
of questions. So in Rogue One, we see Chopper, we see the Ghost, which is their ship. We see General Syndulla, or we hear General Syndulla over the intercom
Is it
system.
the same actress?
It's an intercom going General Syndulla to
Paging
the loading
General
bay,"
Syndulla.
or something like that.
See, because I watched Rogue One before I got in my Star Wars deep
Yeah.
dive, so I didn't recognize any of that.
It's okay.
So
You should go back and
Yeah,
watch
it's all
it
right. Well, I mean,
if you haven't.
we all have downfalls.
The
I know.
ghost is in like a good like it's in most of the shots in the space battle. It's flying around.
it's really cool.
It's really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Chopper scrolls by in one of the shots. He's like,
When I remember when you started working with me, you were like, "Oh, Chopper, he's in Rogue One and he's in Rebels and he's super cool." And I was like, "What the f is this kid?" Like,
He
I was
is
like,
dope,
"I know
dude.
R2."
Chopper is one of the coolest. He's one of the
Chopper's
coolest
new
Star
kid
Wars
on the
characters,
block.
in my opinion.
Well, no, yeah. Now that I've seen Rebels, I'm like, "Okay, Chopper's awesome." But
Right.
at the point, I was like, "What the heck is this thing? Looks like crap."
So, and we don't have to talk about Rebels all day, but
I mean, but we could.
we could. I'm just saying there's some interesting stuff going on with it. I think what most people are really interested in is our opinions on this Han Solo stuff.
Yeah. So Han Solo.
Not that we're gonna. I think we're gonna have about as dynamic opinions as the title is dynamic. But
a solo shot was just fired.
Oh. Guess who shot first? This guy.
Oh.
Oh, that was a terrible joke.
Whoa.
That's all right.
Everybody saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, so it's Solo, a Star Wars story. I think they just changed. I think originally it was Han Solo, a Star Wars story, and then everyone knew that's what it was, and they're like, well, now it's got to be different. We'll just get rid of Han, and now it's different. And I bet you that was their thought process.
Yeah, I don't. You're probably right.
I know, and that's why I'm depressed.
So, boys from
Not
left
really.
field that haven't, got to talk much. What do you guys think? Matt, Richie?
Go for it, Matt.
Are you guys wearing the same shirt today?
Yeah, they are wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
For those of you who
we're
don't
wearing the
know,
same shirt.
Matt and Richie are actually brothers, both born and raised in the same town.
That's right.
They're not biological brothers, but
I mean,
more or less.
Before we talk about Han Solo, can I just say how good it is to have Matt back here?
oh Matt.
oh yeah,
Sure.
Matt. Clap
I'm
it up
back.
for Matt Robinson.
Uh,
Still has not watched the new trailer
Has
from
not.
The
Proud of
Last
he
Jedi.
is committed to his celibacy. So
And I'll be
Convinced
honest,
and I'm
I'm,
watching.
as impressed as I am, hella inconvenient because I can't talk about it around him now,
Yeah.
and it's
You got-
otherwise I'm a jerk.
Yeah, we have to have a special spoiler Slack channel. Minus
Yeah,
Matt.
we
Yeah.
just basically, which is really we just talk crap about Matt all
Talk
day.
trash
All the
about
time.
Oh, I say I hate Matt.
Yeah,
His mute Matt shirt
it's like,
sucks.
oh, spoiler alert, Matt is horrible.
Richie.
Whoops.
it's okay. No, so yeah, we support your efforts to continue not watching the trailer, and we're going to try our best not to spoil it for you.
But I
it
will.
probably
I already
happen.
apologized today for my future actions.
But yeah, so the new title, I like it. I think it's an improvement over Han Solo. Star Wars
you like it
story.
better than Han Solo?
I do, just because, like, I don't know, just I think I'm not a fan of like movies that are titled after the main character in general. I just feel like it's such a.
I mean, isn't it
boring-
still?
Yeah, it is, but
It
it's
could
like
just refer to maybe his dad as well.
Richie,
yeah.
don't tell me you don't like The Dark Knight.
I mean, it's not.
It's not
the
Batman.
movie's not called Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? Like
Or
that's,
just
that's what
Batman.
it would
I
be
think they'd
like.
sell a lot
So
less
you don't like
copies.
the Marvel films, like Iron Man or Thor, or
No, those are fine. But
Okay.
like again, it's not called Tony Stark.
all
It's
right.
called Iron Man.
I see.
Which is like a little different. But like Han Solo, if you just
Matt,
call
well, I
the
see
movie,
your Richie. I see your points. I don't see your points.
it's okay.
Richie block
Wait,
out
so
the
how do you
haters.
feel about Forrest Gump?
I mean, I do love that
well,
movie.
it's not called Tom Hanks. You just go one step deeper.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the difficulty here is manufacturing an opinion about the title of this movie because I don't care.
Matt coming
Matt,
in again with his "I don't care."
I just
Then-
want to see the lightsabers and
just-
the space
We
battles.
get- we
I mean,
do
they
it
can
right.
call it. They can call it.
I
you're-
just wanna
you
see
know
the
you're
lights.
going to watch, and I would go watch.
Movie that Star Wars movie number 10.
Like it's
11.
Just, you
Matt
know.
Matt is like the personification of like the hashtag streams on like a post, like a marketing post, where it's just like hashtag lightsabers, hashtag cool, hashtag action, hashtag Vista, and Matt's like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm in.
All those hashtags.
That's Matt's trailer. That's Matt's idea.
I feel like
ideal trailer.
Every
just
every
hashtags.
every person that comes up with all these in-depth marketing is either super excited because Matt is so ingrained
Right.
with the marketing that he's going to go see it or not, or either super frustrated that they spent all this time for stuff that just doesn't matter. He's going to go see it anyway. Like,
Yep.
so if I was him, I'd be like, sweet, we just spent 40 hours with 40 people for 40 hours trying to figure out the best marketing scheme, and all these schmucks are going to go watch it anyway.
Like, oh, that's really cool, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't
it
care. I'm
doesn't
gonna watch
sway
the
me
movie.
Star
at all.
Wars marketing is literally the easiest job in the world. I mean, there is not an easier job.
I'm gonna start making a list of Matt's easiest jobs in the world, and then I'm gonna assign
What
them
other
to him
thing am
every
I
week
saying?
and say, All right, Matt. This is your easiest job in the world for the week. Let's see how well you do.
I would be so good at Star Wars marketing.
All right.
Oh
that's,
my
that's the top
gosh.
of the list.
That'd be the greatest in Star Wars marketing.
Let me just say,
Let me just say,
I was in my office the other day, and someone said, "Donald, have you ever seen Star Wars?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I wrote it. Okay, the wars and the stars, they're about me. All right, folks.
Long time ago, I was there.
In a galaxy close to me. Okay, folks."
I made the princess wear a golden bikini.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
too far.
Moving on.
And we just lost half of our.
We're moving on.
30,
We lost one of our-
statistically.
We're moving on.
34% of our voter base. We just lost them statistically.
Oh boy.
All right.
Other Star Wars news.
That
All right,
comes
so
out
we
to
got
3.5
Matt's opinion.
people.
Great.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks,
Come at
Matt.
me.
Appreciate it. You don't have one.
And we
Thanks.
just lost both of our moms as listeners.
Oh gosh, sorry, Kim. We love you.
Sorry, Caroline.
I don't
Love
think
you
she
guys.
listens anyway. I'm gonna be honest.
I think my mom listened to the first one, and she's like, "Wow, my son's a nerd. I'm out."
I
That's
think
all
that
right.
every time we make jokes that have to do with Star Wars, I'm like, wow, this is what I'm doing. I'm making Star Wars jokes, and I get them too, and they're hilarious to me. And I'm like, I need to reevaluate my priorities if I get these jokes. Like, I was camping with people.
Oh, he's getting really heated right
No,
now.
I was. No. I was camping with somebody, and we were making chocolate chip pancakes. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, there's more chocolate chips than pancakes now. And I was like, he's more machine than man now. And everybody just stared at me, and I was like, I'm the only one who gets this joke.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, too much time. on
And
Critical
Brennan's
Mass.
like the jock of our group too, so this is really funny
Oh,
to
we're
see
proud of
him,
you, Brad.
to see him
Keep 'em
become who he
coming.
really
And
is.
Ike and I got moved down to Ike's office just for today.
Oh, I made
there's
one
a-
too,
there's
but I
a-
knew you would get it. So
But there's a guy that like came in. He had like a BB-8 background, and I was like, "Oh, so you're a Star Wars fan, huh?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I like Star Wars, but I like Marvel better." And we're like, "So what kind of fan are you?" And he's like, I'm a pretty big fan. We're like, "So you
Oh.
read like the books and the comics?" "No, I just watch the movies. I like the movies." We're
I was like, "We're those guys." Sorry,
yeah.
man.
I was like, "You're not a big fan."
I can just see both of you just kind of looking at each other and just being like, so.
It was extremely
so you-
judgmental.
So you
It
really
was
don't like Star Wars?
yeah. So you're not a real fan.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we have
okay.
a podcast, dude.
Yeah. Do you have a podcast? Didn't think so.
We have at
Yeah,
least
did more
three
than one
people
person
listen.
listen to it? We're not sure that anybody listens to ours, but
I know I press view at least 3 times a day for myself.
you
We've
know,
had the views.
just because I go to YouTube and put it on repeat, so it listens over and over and over and over. It's a 30-minute podcast. I can only get so many in a day, guys.
But who's counting?
It's not like I count the hours in the day to see how many views I can get in.
It's 12.
Oh, this is the best
24 divided by
episode
2.
we've ever done.
We've come a bit unhinged. Oh, so wait, we're talking about Star Wars,
so-
right?
Yeah, more depressing Star Wars news is EA Games
Oh,
has,
no.
has
Oh.
closed
This was the worst news of my week.
Visceral Games, which is a division that made Dead Space and some other games, if you guys are gamers as well. But for those of you who don't know, Visceral, for the past couple of years, has been teaming up with one of the original Uncharted creators to make a new Star Wars RPG, and it's looked amazing in
Yeah, they've
development.
released like a little bit of footage of it.
They've released a little footage, a little bit of information here and there, and it's just the hype's been growing. That's pretty much what everyone who's waiting for the next Star Wars game outside of Battlefront 2 is like. When is this Visceral game happening? It might not.
it's
probably
probably not.
It's probably not happening because EA straight up closed the
Visceral
division.
games. Yep.
So
How many
they've-
does that make now?
Yeah,
A
it's
lot.
Visceral Origin. And
Have you guys seen the art for the one that was supposed to come out like 4 years ago?
1313.
That was
Yeah,
some of the
it's
coolest Star Wars art I've
and it
ever
was like
seen in my life.
Basically, they were kind of taking some notes from that and then making
Yes.
this new game. But it sounds like EA is really just kind of jumping off the ship from single player only content. Ike's having a seizure.
Eat my mic.
Matt's looking at pictures right now, wishing and dreaming.
How did this happen? How did EA?
Because EA likes to kill my soul
Because
but
EA
every moment they get.
How did EA end
Yes.
up with like sole licensing rights for
They
Star
bought
Wars?
it. They got a lot of money and they
Like,
paid for
Kenna
it.
has. Oh, we're gonna buy LucasArts.
Listen, I've got.
'Cause it was
I've-
LucasArts, right? I think
It was
that they bought-
LucasArts, yeah. I've got. Well, they didn't buy it. It's just Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, and then Disney pretty much liquidated LucasArts, which is why the 1313 game died because it was
Right.
it was when Disney purchase happened, and then they auctioned out the rights to make video games for Star Wars, and EA bought the rights. I think they have 6 more years on the contract.
Really?
Yeah, if I remember
Man,
correctly.
this looks so good.
Not that I'm counting.
I know. Are you watching it?
Yeah,
it
I'm watching
looks
that trailer.
incredible, doesn't it?
Oh, the game just looks so great.
To me, it's like the equivalent of Disney selling Star Wars to like Viacom, so Comcast has it. It's like the
Yeah.
worst.
Comcast
Oh,
is
don't
the
get
best,
Matt started on
guys.
Comcast.
Don't.
Don't
Crystal
do it.
clear reception here in the basement with my Comcast mobile.
That was.
That was another conversation.
Oh.
Listen,
Yeah, we'll stay
I
away
can,
from
I
that
can
one.
only take so many tangents in a day.
All right, so let's talk about something that just popped up. That the 2 characters that are going to be in the Han Solo film
Okay.
Okay.
that
I didn't
weren't
know about
canon
this.
that are canon now.
Oh, Tag and Bing. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, Tag and Bing. Oh, is it Tag and Bink? Tag and Bing.
Bink.
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 Okay, so basically, there's these 2 Star Wars characters from Legends, and I don't know how like serious people took it back in the day, but they're pretty cool characters. They're from the comics. You can jump online and read them pretty easily. Do a quick Google search. But basically, these 2 characters are basically the result. They caused basically every major Star Wars thing that happened in the Star Wars universe to happen. And it was because they were just off screen, like, and did something that made something happen.
Right.
That made like that made Luke go out to the end of the thing, the end of the walkway on what's the name of the
Cloud
planet?
City.
Cloud City, like that kind of thing. They were the people who shot the thing that closed the door so that Vader couldn't get to them,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that kind of thing. I think one of them was the guy who hit his helmet on like one of the stormtroopers that
On
hit
the-
his
on the door?
Yeah, that hit his helmet
So
on the
he's
door.
so he's Snoke.
right. He's
Right.
Snoke, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, it was a comic that was for comedic relief, and it was a lot of fun. Alex from Star Wars Explained has done 2 great videos on them.
Yeah.
But they're cool characters. They're a lot of fun. And apparently somehow they're, I don't know, maybe we can do some speculation.
I'm guessing it's just going to be like a cameo, just a quick thing.
Yeah, maybe a cameo, or maybe we'll see them do something stupid or silly.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're basically like the 3 Stooges of, the
Right.
2 Stooges of,
Which is
of the
why
Star
I'm
Wars
like,
universe.
how much of them would they actually show in
Right.
that kind of annex,
Right. It'd be cool if they were like semi-main characters that were just there in like kind of the comedic relief.
Like they were the Empire's point of view in the story.
Yeah. Well, they switched sides multiple times. And,
Oh,
like,
really?
well, like basically, if I remember right, they're like trying to escape the situation. They're always trying to get out of the situation.
Like from the Jersey Shore, the situation.
Wow. Dead.
It's 2017.
Tonight is spicy, boys.
In the most NPR
ladies.
voice.
It's 2017.
It is 2017, Sean.
For
Get with the
time and
jokes.
temperature
Get with
from
the
Commerce
memes.
Bank over here.
So yeah.
Oh man.
Basically,
this episode.
it's great.
It's
I
one
love
of the
this
greatest
episode.
episodes of all time.
We got Donald Trump jokes.
If I listened to
got-
any episode on repeat,
We got
It would be
golden
this one.
bikinis.
okay, folks, because let me say, they mentioned me in this episode, and is it an honor? I would be lying if it wasn't. Because in all reality, it's now just a podcast about me. All right.
So many people are going to be offended.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Wait, how many people? Because
All 3 of them.
Oh,
So-
I'm gonna listen later, and I'm gonna be offended.
Man,
when
that
I'm
was-
listening on repeat and I can't sleep at night because I have regrets about life, I'll be offended.
What is this, me IRL? Jeez.
No, I don't have regrets.
yeah, you're fine.
No regrets.
All right,
I'm
so
sick-
anyway,
I'm
Tag
sick.
and
I'm just
Bing.
kind of sick.
They're fun characters.
Yeah,
They're
they-
cool characters. Go
yeah,
ahead.
they apparently, according to Alex and Star Explained, they're like Palpatine's 2 royal guards at
Yes,
the very end.
yes.
And, like they helped Anakin woo Padme.
Yep.
And they
Also, they got game.
they also like they disguise themselves as troopers to get off of Yavin 4, I think.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's a bunch of things. It's really funny.
So yeah, I don't know how they're going to incorporate them, but
Yeah, I have no idea.
I do know, like, for people that like the Legends comics, it's a lot of people's favorite Legend comic.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Matt, I'm gonna throw it to you, and I know you were itching. Where are we at with Clone Wars, man? How you doing?
I'm 2 weeks behind, so yeah.
Oh,
You know,
you could call him
but
out
I'm
like
really enjoying.
No, he
Clone
he
Wars.
said he wanted to talk about Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I,
well,
I do.
well,
I really am.
Matt's
See?
wife has
enjoying
been
it.
out of country, and he's been trying to watch it with her, so he's a little behind. But tell us how you feel about it so
Yeah.
far.
Well, there's just a lot of solid story arcs. It's a lot. I mean, I watched it. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I was only half watching it at that time. And I
Right.
think maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much. This time I've really been paying attention and not doing other things while I'm watching the episodes. And there's a lot of good arcs. I think it really fleshes out Anakin's character, especially. I've talked to some of the guys about some of the themes in Clone Wars. I think there's a reoccurring theme of Anakin of like loyalty to his friends. So he's willing to do a lot of times morally questionable things, or at least things that the Jedi think are questionable. And eventually, if we keep following this track, eventually that's going to be what leads to his downfall. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to quote him, I mean, Anakin is very compassionate, and he said, compassion is, in his opinion, the greatest form of love, is integral to being a Jedi, and he takes that to heart.
yeah, and interestingly, Luke has the same sort of thing going on. If you go and you watch Empire, when Vader baits him with Han and Leia, and he wants to leave Dagobah, and Yoda and Obi-Wan are both talking to him. They both say, this is the reason that Vader fell. If you do this, you're going to fall too. Of course, spoilers, Luke doesn't fall. But it's interesting. They have...
Technically, we'll see, boys.
Well, no. I'm more hard on the nose. He falls down the shaft.
Yeah, that's
in
what I was gonna
classics.
say.
Yeah.
technically true.
His hand does too. So
I can't quote the trailer. Can't quote the trailer.
Can't do it.
But
Can't
anyway,
do it. Stay pure,
Stay
Matt.
pure,
Yeah,
Matt.
don't
pure.
quote the trailer.
To quote the trailer real quick.
Close your ears.
no, you're good, Matt.
No, we're just messing with you.
That theme of loyalty to friends kind of is woven throughout Star Wars, and I think the Clone Wars really makes it easier to see that theme.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it gives a lot more legitimacy to the prequels, where they could flesh these things out. They could flesh those emotions out.
Yeah. For me, watching Episode 3 after seeing like the Clone Wars and everything like that, it makes me actually sympathize with Anakin, where it was really hard to do that in some other times, because I think that was the overall goal of Episode 3, was to have you sympathize with Anakin up to his fall, and because of writing and whatever, it was very difficult for most people to sympathize with Anakin, because it's kind of like, you're kind of a douche, so get what's coming.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of we're getting into like an age here where television is sort of just as much of a medium as movies are, and so like the Netflix generation, we're getting kind of spoiled where it's like I almost want Star Wars long form series just as much as I want movies now,
I'm with you 100%.
and animated even.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix has said, I think they're making their goal is to make 80 original films this year.
I'm into that,
Like, the budget that they have is incredible.
but I know Disney is
80
also
original films.
Well, I know
in
it's
a
like
year.
$7 billion or something, isn't it?
Their budget.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's something crazy. Like, but I know Disney also has their own platform coming, and I'm
Right,
hoping
which is why they've
that-
hopped off.
I'm hoping that they'll launch with more Star
Here-
Wars animated content.
That's like their bread and butter. I think that's the only reason why they've waited this long, Disney, is to see how things have gone for Star Wars, and now to see, all right, we're gonna start our own streaming, and we're gonna put all of our content on there, but we're gonna make people buy it because of Star Wars.
So, do you think you will maybe ever see a live-action Star Wars television show?
I think we will. I think that's further out. I think the next animated series will launch on this Disney streaming platform, but I do think we'll eventually get a live stream one.
It would be cool to get like anthology style stories told. Like
Yeah, I think we'll get it once this trilogy ends,
yeah.
because they'll have that space.
Right. And
But
I think what they're also hoping for is once these new three movies, this new trilogy launches, there's going to be a lot of time to tell these 34 years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, that you can just hash through so many stories.
so
Right.
much.
That will be relevant to the OT
Mm-hmm.
and also relevant to the new stuff.
Yeah.
That's something that we've talked about a lot in like past couple episodes this month on the podcast. Is like when we talk about characters like Snoke, how like we don't think we'll probably learn very much about him from the films. So it's cool that we have like extra film stuff, whether it's books or like maybe a TV show or anything that can fill in those blanks.
Do you think we'll ever see Thrawn in a movie?
I hope.
With the announcement of the new book and Timothy Zahn saying that he has ideas for at least 2 or 3 more books, I don't think so. I think he's a book-only guy. I think if we were going to see him in a
book
movie...
and TV show guy?
Yeah, book and TV show. I mean like...
Like,
Not-
do you
not-
mean
not
like
live
live
action.
action? Like a live
I
action?
think-
Live action.
I think if we were going to see him in a film, it would have been a Rogue One, because he would have just filled the director Krennic role, and I think that would have
Yeah.
made a lot of sense. But I think they have other things planned for him. I mean, maybe down the road, but I don't see in the current cards where he would fit in
Okay,
a film.
just wondering.
I wish.
But that's going to be it for us today. And I just want to thank you guys for coming in, listening to our
Thanks,
rants and
guys.
rambles, our goofs and gaffs, and our Star Wars talk. Just to remind you guys, just keep it going with our 100 Days of Star Wars. Just we're like Brendan said, we're 58 days away from The Last Jedi.
Stay
Keep
strong.
that hype up. You can go see us on Instagram now as well. We're on @the Canon Factory. We're also on Twitter with the same name. And come talk to us, interact, and we'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.